Okay, great. Thank you all so much for joining, especially during lunch. I really appreciate it. My name is Beth. I am the workforce manager at Briya, and I have been coordinating externships for several years now. And before we get started, in our first block starts in July. We just like to have these preceptor trainings really for the goal that we're just all on the same page as our students get started. So I'm recording this. Please feel free to share with your teams and ask any questions you'd like. Feel free to put in the chat or unmute. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So again, for today, we hope that we'll talk about the process and workflow for Bria's MA externships, responsibilities of externs, so our students, preceptors, supervisors, which is usually the nurse managers, and Bria, what MA externs can and cannot do, and then strategies for effective precepting. So these are things that we like to tell the preceptors, the MAs that work at Mary Center, so they can, interact with the MAs and get to know them as well. So just to review, these are the blocks this year. As in years past, you can see a little bit of space in between each block. That's kind of like a buffer week if students need to make up any days, and also just so we're not overlapping students that are finishing up, there's a little bit of space in between. All of these add up to 160 hours of the clinical externship required for the RMA credential. These students will typically, they will all have come in having passed their coursework. Most of them will come in having passed their RMA exam. So really, once they finish this 1-month externship, then they have their RMA credential. This is a list of things that typically MA student externs can do, either with confirmation checks by preceptors, guidance from preceptors, and supervision. However, we leave it up to you all if you have a way in your clinics to determine what students can and cannot do. That is totally fine. We also understand that they oftentimes shadow at first, and then they move their way into being more comfortable with some of these clinical skills towards the end. But this is just a list of some of the things that our clinical team here think are the most common things that our students can do. These are the responsibilities of the preceptors, which are usually the MAs in the clinic. The MAs will be paired with, our externs will be paired with these preceptors. So they would welcome the student and orient them to the clinic with guidance and supervision, provide the clinical experiences for the students, for the externs, monitor students' progress. We have, in a moment, I'll show you the different skills checks that we have the preceptors sign off on so they can monitor students' progress in that way, provide regular feedback to students, and just kind of tell them about the clinic policies, procedures, resources in the clinic, just talk to them about the clinic flow, and then complete the student assessments and the timesheet, which I'll show you examples of. And we've thought that, many of our past MA externs at this point are preceptors. So we kind of think about this as like a leadership opportunity as well for the MAs at Mary Center. This is the copy of our technical skills assessment. So this would be turned in at the end of the 160 hours. Not all of these are expected to be checked off by any means, but it's just a way for both the preceptor and the student to realize what kind of skills they've been doing. It depends what clinic that they're in based on what they're going to check off. But if the preceptor could, students will have this paper copy with them so they can check off as they go and sign in the back, on the back side. Again, students are responsible for giving this to the preceptor, and students are responsible for giving this, turning this into Briya at the end. Similarly, this is another document that is turned in to us at the end. Our student externs are expected to give it to their preceptor to be filled out at the end. Again, these are workplace skills. These are more of the professional skills, and there's a place for the preceptor to make comments as well. And the timesheet. Again, this is the student's responsibility, and they know this. They go in knowing this, that however it works, if it works for your preceptors to sign off daily, that is fine. If it works best to sign off at the end of every week, that is also fine. But students will be turning this into us every Friday as well. So for the nursing leadership supervisor responsibilities, really your connection is more to probably the preceptors than the students. So just being available to preceptors for regular communication on the learning experiences, student progress, positive experiences and potential challenges of working with the externs, respond to other preceptor questions and concerns as needed. And then if any issues arise, communicating with Vanessa, or feel free to reach out to me and our team here at Briya. I talked about the workplace skills. Of course, if there is an issue, a professionalism issue, which we hope there's not, but if there's any type of issue, please don't hesitate to reach out to me so I can communicate with the student and fix anything that's going on. So some of Briya's responsibilities, we're preparing our MAs. Like I said, they've already completed their 720 plus hours of coursework. They are prepared knowing what to do on day one, getting contact information from their preceptors in case of an emergency. If something comes up, what is the best way to contact their clinic? We provide students with externship checklists and timesheets, so we give them all of that to bring in. Visit clinic sites as needed or requested, and respond to any questions or concerns with student attendance, anything related to students' engagement, attendance. Please feel free to reach out to us as soon as it becomes an issue, just so that we can make sure that we address it so it doesn't get prolonged in their month. And then for the students are to complete 160 externship hours. We'll know that's completed with their timesheet. Arriving on time every day. We have told students 8:30 to 5 is their schedule. And they are responsible for both calling or texting, emailing, whatever your clinic determines is the best means of communication for the student, calling the clinic and letting us know if they will be late or absent. On day one, get contact info to inform their supervisor and just to be in communication with them. Be present, engaged, and an active learner. The same types of things we're going to talk about today are things that we talk about with the students, and being engaged. Demonstrate proficiency in the full range of MA skills. Again, bringing their timesheet to be submitted weekly, bringing their technical skills assessment and that workplace and professional skills assessment to their preceptors as well. So on day one, for the preceptor, we have the same type of thing that we tell the students of what they also can do on day one. Introduce yourself, orient the student to the clinic, share the general and daily plan or schedule, and then just kind of put that role into context by letting them know, a little bit more about the clinic and the flow, like who else do you work with, how do you work with others on the MA and other teams, and any other details the students want to know. We have a really great group this year, and they're super excited, and especially as we've gotten these first couple of blocks ready to go, I think we'll have great experiences. Again, we talked about kind of being a leader as the preceptor, so you are a professional role model to the student, and also, just like all of us, we all learn in different ways, so students could observe, discuss, hands-on practice, and of course this is going to change as the month progresses, and we totally understand that, and students do as well. We tell students to ask lots of questions. In fact, when we have alumni panels, they have always said that asking questions is just the best way to learn and keep that relationship with your externship clinic. And you also can explain what you're doing and why, ask open-ended questions and follow-up questions to also kind of see what the students know as well. Here's some examples of questions. I can also share this along with this recording. I can also share this PowerPoint so you all can have some examples of these questions. But these are just some open-ended questions and follow-up questions that you can ask students, and I feel that students would also ask similar questions of you. And in any downtime or as during transition time, things like that, feel free to share your story about what it has been like to be an MA, how long you've been an MA, what you enjoy most, maybe some challenges in the field, maybe things that you wish you would have known, and have you worked in any other healthcare settings? And feel free to ask them questions as well. Again, these are just some questions to ask at the end of the day or the end of the week. Again, just to kind of have that connection with the extern and make sure that that learning is happening throughout their day. I wanted to share my contact info with you. Again, I can share all of this as well, so you have it. But please feel free to reach out to me with any questions. And I'm really looking forward to this summer and fall. I also just wanted to open it up to any questions that anybody might have, or if you want to revisit one of the slides, let me know. But does anybody have any questions or follow-up? Or Vanessa, anything that I should touch on with this group?
I don't think so.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you all so much. It was good to touch base with you. Again, please feel free to contact me anytime throughout this summer and fall, and we will continue to be in touch.
Thank you so much, Beth.
Thank you guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
You have a great
Thank
one. Thank you so
you.
much.
Goodbye.
Thanks.
It's not that.